So, it's just all these learning curves, right? Getting I know it's itching, my fault, y'all. Um um it's all about all of those things. And so I just want to just constantly just be a person that just give advice. And I just see so many people that just resonate with my advice on TikTok, man. You know, um, you just see so much stuff on TikTok that is, or Instagram, that is just like, it's rubbish. It's just stuff that's just not, that's, I want to make positive things cool, right? I want things that are honest in a cool way, and it might be slower than others. And you might not have to say things like, I always want to do something where I know that obviously, like, there's gonna be things that I rub people the wrong way, but then it's just a little, it's just from an honest place, and it's from a loving place. Um, I know that I'm open to evolving too. I know that with a lot of attention comes responsibility. Holding myself to a certain standard. I built myself for this. I've watched people's careers, the way people handle themselves. I've learned from so many people, and I've learned to not say like, oh, let me not do that. Let me not do this. Let me do research on these certain people, because you want to be aware of a lot of things, because it lets you know that you're always looking to learn. And a person like me is like, I think it's just, I have just so much to give, so much. Um, and I used to be just very hesitant about it, you know what I mean? Because I just think that a lot of people are are just looking for just BS, man. A lot of people just looking for just drama and gossip, and but I want to be me. I know that drama's gonna come this way in the streaming world, where people talk about each other, and people can't find other things to do. People have to talk a certain way. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's seeping into your real world. It's people have certain feelings. They might not say online, but they might feel a certain way. So, it's so many things I'm still learning, how to move through this space. Hopefully, like I said, I collab with people that are on the same page and on the same waves. Like, I'm just trying to work with people across. I'm not trying to, oh, let me jump to you and what can I do? Like, I understand what it takes. I understand that a lot of people at the higher levels, they might not respect you, or they might not like you. Like, a lot of people are just on very um a lot of people are just materialistic. A lot of people just see you for what you got, and then want to try and resonate with it. There's not a lot of honest people out in this world, right? There's not a lot of people that just be like, oh, because you're this person, now I want to work with you. Like, but you didn't want to work with me when I was a nobody. Like, a lot of people are like that, and you have to accept that, right? um but also be aware of it, peep it. um there's just a lot of people that have come across where people are just grounded and just real and authentic, like, because it's so much, it's rumors and like things that people say, and it's funny because a lot of people have the courage to say it behind the internet, right, or behind a fake screen or a fake profile picture, but will never have the gall or the courage to say it, in a person's face. So that's why I always say, if you don't have the courage to say it in a person's face, don't say it offline. I mean, don't say it online. If you don't have the courage to say it offline, don't say it online. I've always preached that, because you run into so much BS, you run into so much drama, and then a lot of people are like, oh, it's just for, like, don't start backing up just because somebody really, like, and that's just me. Like, like, I know when I'm gonna come across people that are, you know, backstabbing and untrustworthy and all these things, like, but in the same breath you have to reach, in order to find people, you have to be vulnerable. In order to do things, you have to be vulnerable to be hurt. And it sucks, but it's just the way of life. You can't be guarded and expect people to still want to be around you. It repels people, when you are too guarded, right? Because you want people to that you trust, but there's a certain openness that you have to give in order to have your trust broken. And a lot of people have, everybody just changes, man. And I think we put too much thought into it and too much effort in. And I've, just even within this past month, I've been backstabbed, betrayed in ways that I never thought would even be possible. People having certain ways or certain just philosophies that I just don't align with. And it's okay. There's expiration dates with people that you might not just align with, and that's okay. I think that we put too much expectations on things and people, right? And so the more that we just kind of get closer to just accepting people, accepting flaws, and knowing whether you should move accordingly or you stick with the person. It's those two decisions you have. A lot of people aren't going to see it that way, but it's all about what you are planning to do, and what you can create.